Philadelphia, PA. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Philadelphia Eagles. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. They start on the ground. And right away, he lost the football. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Philadelphia picking up the first. .15. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action. Now Wilson. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Devin Lloyd in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. It's a second down run with Sanders. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. The Eagles had 0-3 here to begin the campaign. And you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand why you expressed it that way, because it's so early in the season, it feels like hyperbole. But I think you are spot on this one. Yes, there's still time to turn things around, but they've got to start to win right now if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs.
Wilson's throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Running right, here's Sanders. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This will be caught at about the 6. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now it's Wilson. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Chip Kelly is on for the field goal. 24-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Lawrence. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On the ready.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Pryor has it complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Jags with the football to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. Able to find Pryor. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And he will take this across midfield and down the 48-yard line. But when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson, he's got the connection to Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
That's the game of play. It's 3rd and 7.
On 3rd down, Wilson. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. Here's Aaron Siposs now. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Trayvon Walker in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jags are going to take possession here at their own 33. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any
pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jordan Davis in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Throwing on 2nd and long. Lawrence. And his throw here's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of the first as that leads to 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it no matter the sport. They say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Wilson. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on third down, Wilson. In trouble, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return, here's Agnew. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, rather look at the defense. They came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either, so certainly something has to change here in quarter 3. And now here is another interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. And oh, it's wide right. No good. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now a throw here to his running back. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start for them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
ETN bringing in another one. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate.
And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. But to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty. And a big loss here as he's taken down. K'Lavon Chaisson able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. And thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action from Philadelphia, PA. Lawrence will throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Shoves him aside, and he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Wilson. Under pressure, they got him again. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. Well, a tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. Third and long, it's Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team right on the midfield stripe. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, Lawrence. And now here is another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. Going for it with Sanders. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. To try again after the sack. Lawrence. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Short completion, just 4 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Wilson going to throw for it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There was a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. James Bradbury there to make the tackle. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Here we go.
Now Lawrence on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
On first down, Lawrence completes it to Evan Ingram. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Again, it's Lawrence. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Kirk, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by McCann, up and good, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. Fields it right around the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here. And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They'll run with Sanders. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Here's Wilson. And this is caught. That's Watkins. He's got room at the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Down to about the 23. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Here's Wilson. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. On the counter now, it's Sanders. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play on this ball game. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Philadelphia, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in week.
Got so many memories that I made on Cascade Road. I done gained the world, I ain't never sell my soul. This is God-given, so I thank him as I go. Hate to sound conceited, but I know. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Run up on me, baby, show you gon' see. Yeah, God power from my head and my feet. Yeah, this colossal. What I say is gospel. I cook this with love. They gon' eat it up and swallow me. I'm from the ghetto, babe. Seen bodies in the street so I could tweet. I came from nothing. I turned a mustard seed into a million in the discussion. Had a TED talk with the higher me. Show me how to run it up. I need all my cheese. Every day that I wake up, I'm pinching myself. Can't believe that I'm really me. Popping shows in New Zealand. Boy, you is not eating, man. We do not play in the same league. I gave my mama some racks and she asked me if I'm selling. I said, mama, please. If I was, do you think I'd let you know? Got so many memories that I made on Cascade Road. This is God-given, so I thank her as I go. This gon' sound conceited, but I know. Crazy thing they with me. Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Yeah, God power from my head to my feet. Yeah, run up on me, maybe so you gon' see.
Not chase, I just attract what you put in, you get back. I'm screaming Campbell, then still hit the dance and wherever I'm at. Feel like a champion, mama mentality. I am the masterpiece, life is the crap. Deep love me and I can't resist it, but I'm only guilty of slipping too fast. Life is by legacy, what lies ahead of me, helping to get peace with this past. Little bitty regular that I pack, 007 before you react. Don't think twice, my only advice for my granddad before he passed. Look to the stars, look at the sky at night. Tell me that heaven ain't black on everything I love. Try not to brag till you bring it up. Tunnel vision, block opinions, and I could give but think of us. Duck jab hooks in it through the roof with an uppercut. Tell the truth, shut the devil up. In the booth, I'm untouchable. Crazy thing they with me.
Yeah, crazy thing they with me. Run up on me, baby, so you gon' see. Yeah, God power from my head at my feet. Yeah.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible.